All across America, there are buildings, sites, structures, and objects that have been preserved or restored to better educate us on some of the many nationally significant moments in our storied history and culture. This is Ford's Theater, located in Washington, D.C. During the Civil War, it served as one of D.C.'s top entertainment venues, giving citizens a much-needed break from the realities of war. As a lover of the theater, opera, and Shakespeare, President Abraham Lincoln was one of its favorite patrons, visiting here on at least 10 formal occasions, the last of which sadly occurred on April 14th, 1865.
The war was just about over, so Lincoln is in a fairly festive mood because he loved the theater and because he was trying to relax. He decided that he was going to go to see our American cousin.
He loved to come to Ford's Theater and listen to Shakespeare, and he loved the comedies. President Lincoln was serving as president during one of the most turbulent times in our country. And the fact is, he came to Ford's Theater for respite, to take his mind and his thoughts away from the troubles of the war. Think about the arts. It was a very special place for him during his entire presidency.
They arrived late and were seated in the president's box. Booth was at this theater and learned that the president would be in attendance at the play. He was able to enter the theater and to enter the presidential box without any kind of interruption. It was a different era when the president was not as protected nearly as much as he should have been. And so he came in and shot Lincoln in the head. He never recovered consciousness.
Immediately after the assassination, the theater was shuttered for over 100 years. Ford's Theater reopened in 1968 as a National Historic Site. It was a partnership between the National Park Service and the Ford's Theater Society.
Today, Ford's is a working theater, historical monument, world-class museum, and learning center, and the premier destination in Washington, D.C. to explore and celebrate the life and legacy of President Abraham Lincoln. Here, visitors can immerse themselves in America's past while revealing meaningful connections to our world today.
We have young people from all over the country who come here, and it's through the three pillars that Ford's has, our theater, our education, and our museum, that we are able to tell the story of Lincoln's legacy. He was a brilliant politician. He loved this country. He believed that we are much stronger together than we are divided. We have an expansive education staff that reaches out to all of these students, teachers, lifelong learners, and we believe that by teaching about Lincoln's legacy, that we are uniquely positioned to help to create leaders for the future.
From the plays produced by this nationally acclaimed theater company to the educational experiences it offers, Ford's Theater is dedicated to the advancing of Abraham Lincoln's unfinished work.
Everybody comes to Ford's Theater. It's not just a local theater, it's really a national theater. This is Lincoln's house. So the plays we do here not only entertain, but they provide context for broader conversations. President Lincoln's legacy means everything to me. I mean, he opened the door, and that started the journey in our struggle for equality as Americans. So every time I go on that stage, I recognize that, and I know that I represent that.
This is truly a space of civic engagement, working to bridge divides, cultivate empathy, create dialogue, and find shared ideals. Very often, visitors come to hear the story of one night, but leave with a deeper appreciation for Abraham Lincoln's role in the American story.
As a descendant of enslaved people, I am painfully aware of the limitations that I face on a daily basis because of the color of my skin. The effort that he made to secure freedom for all people opened a door for my ancestors, and as a consequence, it opened a door and elevated the aspirations of generations after that. Ford's has embraced some of the social issues we have today, and it tries to help us understand how working together we can resolve some of those issues. So I'm very pleased with the direction of the museum and the opportunities it presents to us as Americans.
We see ourselves as moving beyond the theater and education and really being a civic resource. We want to help educate the future generation of leaders and create a community conversation so the issues of the day can be discussed here with the shadow of Lincoln looking over us and helping us have those conversations. We hope that people will leave this historic site as they leave historic sites all across the country, walking away understanding so much more who Abraham Lincoln was and why is Abraham Lincoln still so relevant today.
Our country is more united by commonalities than divided by differences, and this National Historic Site is a catalyst for connection and learning. Learn more today about Ford's Theater, where Lincoln's legacy lives. For information on how to schedule a visit or to donate, go to fords.org.